Okay, it's false. It is not true that men can have sex without the emotions getting involved. I know some fellas hearing this and saying, oh, they disagree with that. Hear what I'm saying, right? Because some men say they can have sex with a woman and don't care if they ever see that woman again in their life, and they don't have no emotional attachment to that person. That may be true, right? But that doesn't mean your emotions wasn't impacted. This how it can, first of all, sex is an emotional act. It's a bonding act. It's an act of emotion. Ain't no getting around that. I mean, that's just what it is, right? Even if you're not trying to use it for that, it's still an act of bonding and emotion. And we're going to delve deeper into that. But look, this how it can impact your emotions, you know, just on the surface level. Since you still committed this bonding act, sex, you partook in it, and you're a man, what it can do, if you don't have no attachment to that girl, what it can do is affect your ability to stay faithful to somebody once you get in a relationship with them. What it can do is make you not want to commit to nobody at all, right? Because you did this emotional act, right? But you was doing it more for the pleasure instead of the connection. And now you building the lifestyle off the pleasure of that emotional act. But your emotions are still being impacted because committing to somebody requires emotion. Staying committed to somebody and not cheating on them requires emotion. And if the sex that you had is governing your ability or to not be committed or to not want to commit at all, it impacted you emotionally. Don't get it twisted. It can turn you into what I like to call, and this may be a video for another time, an emotional or a sexual terrorist, male or female. But we're talking about men and emotions and sex. Sex is a bonding act, like I said. There's a reason, right? And look, this sex thing, it has a unique lane. You will only do it with certain people, right? And it's only people that you could possibly want to have an emotional connection with, even if your intent is not to have one with them. Check it out, right? If you're a straight male, you won't have sex with a man, right? You won't have sex with your daughter if you have one. You won't have sex with your mother. You probably say, bro, what are you talking? Of course I'm not gonna have sex with my mom or my daughter, right? But they are females, right? So you don't just go around having sex with any female because they're female, because those females would be off limits. You don't go around having sex with men because you're not attracted to men. You're not attracted to your mama. You love your mama. You love your daughter. You love them deeply, probably, right? But you're not attracted to them. Even if you recognize, oh, my daughter is pretty, my mother is beautiful, you're still not attracted to them. The only people you will have sex with is the people that it would be okay for you to connect with in a romantic, emotional way. If you're a man and you're straight, it will be a female that you deem attractive. You deem them attractive in that lane of romance, but no matter what. Because like I said, you ain't deeming every female attractive. With the mom and the daughter example, right? So the very fact, if you're having sex with somebody, it's already somebody that you look at in that certain emotional lane. So to have sex with them and think that your emotions can be detached, how? When you will only have sex with these type of particular people, because that's the only type of particular people that you would even consider having that kind of connection with, whether it's a sexual one or emotional one. I mean, or romantic one. But romance and sex are attached at the hip, as I like to say, and both of them are acts of emotion. Ain't no getting around it. So yeah, don't trick yourself into thinking that your emotions won't be impacted. It's false. It's not true. That's why sometimes some men, and I heard a lot of men say this, they have what they call post-orgasm clarity, right? Sometimes they will hook up with a female, and look, I've heard extreme cases of this. Let's get into this, right? You have some dudes, you got three different types of post-orgasm syndrome, as some people call it, or post-orgasm clarity. Let's talk about these three. You have the first one. You have a dude who just, he don't care about the girl and nothing like that. He just want to have sex with the woman, right? He have sex with her, and he just don't want to be around. He just like, oh man, I shouldn't even done this. Let me call my friend, tell him to send me a fake text, make it seem like I have an emergency and I need to get up out of here. That's the end result of all three of these post-orgasm clarity situations that I'm talking about. But that's number one. Don't care about the girl, have sex with her, say, let me get from around here. I don't want to be around here no more. The second one is, and I heard a couple of dudes say they had females that they liked. This female was pretty, the female, she cooked, you know, maybe they had good conversation, you know, they really liked this female. So they thought, but they really believed they did. Had sex with her, had the orgasm, and didn't like her no more. Now, how could that happen? Right? First of all, because you're doing this emotional act. But this is the thing about that. And it's like a remake to the video I made called The Big Lie About Men and Sex. And I talk about that in that video. This how that can happen. You really can think you like a girl because you probably still didn't realize that, like I said, sexual romance it's attached at the hip. You were still leading with your sex drive in the forefront instead of romance. Because those qualities that you like in that woman, she's pretty, man, she got a good personality. We can talk about different things. She cook, you know, she'll have her brother back, all that. It's attached to both of them, the romance and the sex, right? Because them things are joined at the hip. But if you're leading with your sex drive can be thinking on your behalf, and all the while, those qualities that you saw in her that you like, since you was leading with the sex drive, there was had more of a connection with your sex drive because your sex drive was thinking for you when you were sizing up all these things, right? And then once you had sex with her, and that real, I'm trying to build something, man, I want to see where this can go, that wasn't at the forefront. You have sex with her and like, man, I thought I liked her. Nah, your sex drive was still really thinking, it was still at the forefront when sizing up all these things, spending all that time with her. And really you probably was really operating in sexual lust more than anything else, and not, I want to see if this is someone that I can date to see if we can potentially be together and marry, right? You probably think that's extreme, but if you or somebody fell victim to thinking you liked somebody, then had sex with them and figured out that you didn't, the sex drive was thinking for you all along. Like I said in another video called Sex Struggles, sex is supposed to be the end result. But that's a whole nother situation. Go check out the video. Now, the third situation, as far as post-orgasm syndrome or post-orgasm clarity is concerned, you get to a point where I know somebody who said this. They can't tell if they like a woman unless they have sex with them. You know why? That person probably fell victim to post-orgasm syndrome, probably fell victim to the second version of post-orgasm clarity that I talked about, thinking that they really liked the female, but was really leading with the sex drive and didn't realize it. He had that sex drive attached to those qualities that he liked in her. I had sex with her and say, man, I don't want to be around her no more. And now he think that the way that the dude can tell whether he really like a female or not is if he got to have sex with her. And I know some of y'all that probably sound logical, but when you really think about it, it's really not. Basically, the female is supposed to allow you to do like a test run on her, have sex with her. Now, you would say that the female get their emotions involved more, because this is the theory. Men will say, oh, men can bounce around this and that, emotionally it don't affect them, which we discussed is not true. But they would say women to get their emotions more involved. They can't just stick and move like that. They emotional, but they are the more emotional out of us. I will agree with that. I believe that we are the more logic. We operate more off logic first, and they probably more emotional than we are, right? But so what's she supposed to do? Let you run a quick test drive on her and say, okay, we had sex, now I don't like you, let me go ahead about my business. How many times that's supposed to happen? How that's supposed to affect these females that you doing that with? Because look, if you think you got to have sex with her before you know you like her, what happened when you don't? What happened when you don't like her? And now these females got their emotions involved, right? Because they some emotions involved with females when it comes to sex, right? Even though it's involved with everybody, but for the sake of the conversation, you know what I'm saying? So how is that the way to go? How is all these females supposed to get damaged until you can understand if you like somebody or not? How is that really supposed to go? See, how it's really supposed to go is that, like I said, sex should be the end result. When you approaching people, it's supposed to be, like I got a video called Dating. Why are you dating? And I say that everybody should be dating for marriage. If you don't agree, go watch the video and tell me what you think about it. That should be at the forefront, right? Am I dating? I'm looking for a partner. I'm not dating to kick it. I'm not dating to just fill a void. I'm dating with purpose and intent, and I'm dating looking for a mate, right? See, when you're leading with romance, you're gonna think twice about it. You don't want to just dive. Some people do just dive into romance, and I got a video about that. Real sex and relationship talk is the name of that video. Women tend to do that because they men lead with sex first more often. Women lead with romance first more often, and sometimes they just dive into different things romantically. But if you're safely leading with romance, romance is more foundational, right? Because look, if you're removing sex out of the equation and you're looking for someone to build with, or you'll just hop in the bed with anybody, but you don't want to just join lives with anybody. You're going to be more particular. You're going to be more selective. You're going to make sure, okay, we have this set. Okay, this is what you do. Okay, this is how you feel about this. You're going to be more, but you want to do that just to have sex with somebody. You can care less about all those foundational things that really build a relationship when it comes to just hopping in the bed with somebody. That's why you should be leading with romance. And when you don't, whether you male or female, like I said, all types of chaos can ensue. And whether you're a male or female, you can't just have sex without emotions being impacted, because it's an emotional act that you will only have with certain people that you view a certain way, and that certain way is somebody that would be in the romance lane in the first place, even if you don't want to be with them. Like I said, you wouldn't have sex with your daddy if you're a woman. You wouldn't have sex with your mama if you're a man, even though that's a man and you're attracted to men, even though that's a woman and you're attracted to women. It's only specific women that you can only view in this romantic way that you would have sex with in the first place. It's an emotional act. Sex it is, and there's no way you can get around your emotions being impacted one way or another if you have sex. That's just what it is.